Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo here. I hope you guys are doing well. And, of course, thanks for stopping by. We are back with Third Age Total War Reforged. This is a 2 vs 2 online pitched battle. And this one is pretty cool. But let me go ahead and show you the factions here, and I'll explain why this is so cool. So, on one side, we have Cardalin, commanded by WK. His ally is Umbar, commanded by Sin of the Dark Cloud. And they're taking on a combined force of the forces from Dalian forces, and they're teaming up, unfortunately, with the runic army here, the Rune, which is kind of ironic because they're always getting invaded by Rune, I'm pretty sure, or at least they do lore-wise. So it's a weird alliance, but whatever, don't question. That's the fun thing about Total War. You can do weird stuff like this. But the reason this battle is so awesome, it's short but sweet, because it's on a custom map that you might have seen before. This map originally was made by the team who made Divide and Conquer, the sub-mod for Third Age Total War, which is campaign focus. Well, the team from Reforged decided to add it to their recent patch, and so now you can play it single player in the campaign and multiplayer, which is awesome. So yeah, this map, if you're wondering the name, is the BARROW-DOWNS. This is actually a location, a spot that you read about in the first book, The Fellowship. This is where Sam and Frodo and company get captured by a wight, and Tom Bombadil has to save them. Now, Tom Bombadil is a really interesting character because well, he's not in the movies, rightfully so. He doesn't really make a lot of sense. He doesn't really add a lot to the story other than saving Frodo and Sam. But Tom Bombadil, and I don't want to sidetrack here too much, but some people say that it's a theory, nothing's confirmed here, but Tom Bombadil is actually God, and that he, takes the form of Tom Bombadil. It's this lucky-go-happy guy. He sings as he skips around, and he's one with nature, and that's why he's not affected by the ring. And I'm pretty sure the council talks about Tom Bombadil, but they're like, nah, he'll just like forget about the mission. He won't get it done. He won't go to the Mount Doom and destroy the ring because he's just so carefree. Or I think that was the reason why they didn't go with Tom Bombadil. But it's just a cool theory to think about, like God's there or whatever, the creator of the universe, and he's kind of like helping out or being a little bit of a guide there. It's not, again, for sure, but it's a fun thing to think about. But yeah, it's really cool. This place has a pretty cool backstory. I believe the BARROW-DOWNS was first settled by men who were escaping a war from basically an Easterling invasion who were attacking Eriador, and then a lot of them went back home after the war, and then the Númenóreans settled here, and I believe King Elendil, if that's how you pronounce it, returned to Middle-earth. The BARROW-DOWNS were incorporated into the Kingdom of Arnor, so it became the Kingdom of Arnor, and the Downs were revered because of the great Barrows by the Arnorians, and buried their lords and kings here. And essentially, I believe Angmar took over in 1409, Third Age, and then he sent the Whites there, and that's leads up to the 28th of September 3018, where Frodo Baggins and company are trapped in the Downs by a White, probably the same Kharin which held the grave of the last prince of Cardalin. So very cool. You can read up more about it, but I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get into this battle here, and we'll do some army comps, and we'll do some slow motion here because it looks like it is about to begin. So real quick, let's look at Cardalin. He's really got a compact formation here, a mix of spears. We got the Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen mixed in with the Wardens of Tyrion Gorthad. It's a pike unit, so pretty cool unit back there. Then he's got his sword units in the secondary line. He's also got more spears mixed in here. He has some really awesome axemen. Also, we've got some Thurabad warhammers. That's awesome. They got their warhammers over here with the big old shields, that Pavis type shield. He's also got some civilians. So hey, this is cool. So civilians on the battlefield, they're probably gonna die. And then he's got some crossbows. It's like a hybrid unit of crossbows and a pike unit or a halberd unit. His ally Umbar going in with the Belagor footmen, which is kind of like very common unit for Umbar. He's got some Corsair savages, lots and lots of savages. And he's also got the Castamir's Legion, and he's got, oh my god, the Harbingers of Castamere with those helmets with the horns. It looks awesome. Back here he is bringing more Legion and some pikemen as well, and they're kind of forming a giant force. And my god, the battle's already underway. Let's slow it down even more. Some archers firing down in Cardolin. So once again, let's go back, look at Dale. Look at Dale is focusing heavily on the marksman. So we got the Bardian marksman. Back here, we've got Lake Town infantry mixed in with some spearmen. And then way back here, it looks like he's bringing some Blackshot Dragon Slayers. Again, I assume they're named after the Black Arrow of some sort. You know, they're like deadly rangers of Dale, I assume. And then we got the Barding Herd. Back here, we do have a catapult. And we've got Dale, these Horse Guard, which I don't know how to pronounce, Dalian Cav. So by the way, this was commanded by Rodolph. And then over here, Rune commanded by Clueless. And he's got the Varg mercenaries. In the back, he's got some spears and some halberds and some infantry as well, mixed in with some very nasty Dragon Wrath crossbowmen. And then over here, he's got the Camul's Chosen. And then he's got his cav over here, the heavy cav, the iconic cav of Rune. So let's go ahead and press play here as the Runic Dalian Alliance is just shredding these forces over here. And you can see Cardolin is in a bit of a panic, trying to set up their pikes, trying to set up their infantry. And this is all kinds of confusing, guys. I'm not sure what the strategy is here. By the way, I forgot the player names of these forces. Cardolin commanded by WK, and then we have Umbar commanded by Sin of the Dark Cloud, which I believe WK and Sin are both, they both worked on Reforged, so shout out to them for creating such an awesome mod. But yeah, they're getting shelled right now by archers, and again, I'm not sure why they went with this formation. It just seems like they were kind of just not well prepared, not deployed properly, and he is losing so many brave souls here. I don't know if this was part of the strategy, maybe because Cardolin was more of a like heavy armored focused faction. Well, they'll take on most of the brute force here as they kind of shield it for Umbar, which is more of a lighter, you know, armored culture faction, because they do live in a more hot area. They tend to wear lighter armor, and that makes them more quick. It makes them faster, lighter. So maybe that's why. But he is rushing his infantry. Look at this, rushing his infantry to get over to Dale. Dale has decided to move up all of their infantry, forming that line. We also got Rune moving up their infantry as well. And here comes the great collision. Look at this, guys. The great collision of forces. And Rune decided to charge out. He's going to give them a little counter charge, so they're not just standing there and they're not going to get, you know, picked off. And this is just madness. The arrows in some sort of way are... Like, the arrows in a way are lighting up the sky, because this is a darker battle, but because the arrows show up as kind of white little pixels flying through the air, in a way it lights up the sky, which is hilarious because, you know, arrows tend to blot out the sun. But yeah, that's cool. Look at the madness here. This infantry charge is absolutely brutal. And WK is completely focusing. Now the artillery firing over here. Oh, going after these axemen, and Cardolin is pushing hard on the easterling flank. Let's go ahead and slow it down a little bit because this is a quicker paced battle. I want to try to get everything. So it seems like Cardolin is just keeping most of these forces contained, you know, getting them stuck in engagement. And he's going to use his axes, which very wisely he did not send in first because they are a lighter... I mean, they're technically heavy infantry, but it looks like they're mostly wearing cloth and leather. They don't have, like, you know, they don't have, like, plated armor. They are still getting harassed, though, by artillery. And we've got artillery firing into this blob. I think he's going... What is he going for? That is a dangerous shot. He could easily get some friendly fire, so he's got to watch out. Dale has got to be careful here. But I think he is going for these axemen who are still trying to flank around, but they've got to move quickly because men are dropping at every second because these arrows are just constantly flying through. And there they go. They're going to try to flank around as this massive battle line is underway, and just brave soldiers duking it out for the fate of their kingdoms. And it's a glorious sight, guys. And here comes Dale, who's actually trying to flank around Cardolin, who's kind of over overcommitted. Where's Umbar? Umbar is now charging it over here as well, mixing in his Corsair Savages with his pikemen. Once again, let's do about half speed. Really slow down this engagement. Really enjoy and just, you know, experience everything about it. But Umbar, yeah, has now engaged Dale. Obviously, this is the smartest decision here because he wants to, you know, he wants to make sure Dale doesn't double team his ally. He's got to send in his forces as well. Now we've got the Belagear footmen. We've got a huge cav engagement over here. The heavy cav of Dale is trying to charge down the spearmen of spearmen of Umbar. Now Umbar sending in the warlords of Umbar, trying to protect the flank of their infantry, trying to really just clean up this cav, because if they can defeat them, which by the way they are breaking, then this cav is going to be free to get around enemy formation and positioning. So again, like I said, this is a very quick battle. We're almost halfway through it, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of refreshing though to have a quicker paced battle for Third Age Reforged. And here's a big problem here with Cardalin going in so aggressively, and so it seemed like so unprepared. And now they're getting outflanked by Lake Town pikemen because Umbar hasn't. He's not attacking on every flank possible. So Dale is able to spare a unit and support his ally. Again, Umbar is attacking as much as he can. I'm not saying that he's not doing a good job, but I'm just saying that Dale was able to spread out his forces so much that he does have a spare unit here and there. And it looks like the Easterlings are holding on quite well. And now we've got the Camul's Dragon Knights about to charge forward and go for these Guardians, which again is a crossbow / infantry unit. So it's not going to be easy to take these guys on. And look at the carnage here. It's kind of hard to see, but you see all the dead bodies of the Axemen? The Axemen could just not, they just didn't have enough to get around. Now, there is a lot of dead Easterling cav, which is a good sight if you're rooting for Cardalin. I believe this is the general as well, fighting the good fight. They're going to go ahead and disengage and continue to cycle charge these archers. But look at this mercenary cav going around the flank and taking out Camille's shadow bows, trying to get them off the battlefield. So a nice use of that cav never quit attitude. But the Easterlings, infantry-wise, seem to have this battle under control. Let's see, though, if Umbar can turn this one around. The balance of power is still dead even, guys. So it's not anyone's game, even though it's looking very good over on the Easterling side. It looks like the Easterlings have that one under control. But again, I don't want to... You know, the fat lady isn't singing. It's not over yet. This is still anyone's game. I'm kind of rooting for Umbar over here to push through these forces of Dale. We also have a lot of cav in the back. Look at this. Look at this. We've got Numenorian Lancers pushing around, going possibly for the catapult, but no, they're going to go for... Oh my god. They just sandwiched in some black shot Dragon Slayers. They've got them surrounded because we've got the Thoroughbad Riders who are now behind enemy lines. So infantry-wise, they are struggling. Look at, they're dropping quick from that flanking fire from that archer unit. And now they're going to push and flank around the Varg Shadow Bows and the Varg Mercenaries and try to get them off the battlefield and trying to save their men. And they're going to just keep cycle charging around, doing hammer and anvils and trying to crush the Easterling infantry. Now they're going for the Dragon Wrath crossbows, trying to kill them, though they're going to be very tough to fight. And now we've got more and more forces pushing, and the Easterlings are easily winning this infantry battle. And they're even pushing out their men, running down and capturing the retreating forces of Cardalin. And there they go, they're falling back. And now he's going to swing the door, as I like to call it. Swing these troops around and support the other parts of the battle. And quickly, help out that center and quickly defeat these guys, because the Easterlings might have to... Well, it's still close over here. I mean, it's still really close. But they might have to come around and support Dale. I mean, Dale seems to be holding quite well over on this flank, this left flank, from their point of view. Back over here, though, it seems like it's more in control of Umbar. So again, we're still very even battle. I would say the balance of power is now slightly shifted in favor of Umbar. They are at 54%. Their enemies, which would be Dale and the Easterlings, are at 66% losses. So they do have an advantage in percent killed. Oh no! Wait, he put his general in the citizen? Oh yeah, look at this massive push here. Massive push to come this way and to quickly defeat what's left of Dale. Is Dale breaking? Is this a massive chain route from Dale? Dale is breaking. They cannot withstand the might of Umbar. And now Umbar is pushing and quickly trying to get over there to save his ally. The balance of power even more so in favor of Umbar and his ally Cardalin. But the Easterlings need to hurry up and defeat these guys because they've got a huge horde of forces coming their way, which is an angry force of Umbar soldiers. We got Castamir's Legion being one of the first ones to join this other fight that's, that's taking place over on this side of the battle between the Easterlings and Cardalin. Here they come. Much needed support. They're about to surround Camille's Chosen. There we go. There we go, guys. And Rune holding on for dear life. More and more forces from Umbar coming around to support this fight. Got savages pushing all. Look at it. I love all the Barrows in the back here. Fantastic. There we go. More forces pushing to the back flank of the Easterlings, coming around to clean them up. The Easterlings, they've got some reserves over here, but they might need to quickly turn them around to protect their own flank. They've got to hurry up and defeat these Cardalin soldiers so they can put all of their attention to the recently victorious Umbar who defeated Dale. But Cardalin is making this a very difficult situation for the Easterlings, who are going to try to turn this one around. I still have hope. There's only, the percentage difference is only by 10. The balance of power is not looking great, but you just heard it there. The half of Umbar's force remains, and he's just throwing his troops into this big blob. He's just getting them into the fight and trying to support them. Look at this massive amount of Umbar. It's like Dale just didn't even stand a chance against these guys. They got crushed, and now they're going to charge into the Easterling halberds, and they're going to hold in phalanx formation, try to take on this big blob. That's a pretty good engagement there for the Easterlings, but they're not going to be able to hold on because it's just a flood of forces coming around from Umbar, getting around these troops. And now Cav is behind the back lines over here, and the Cardalin soldiers, these swordsmen, are victorious. Look at this. He's got these spare reserves back here who are re-entering the battle. I don't know if they broke and they came back or what. He's even got his citizens going back over to the fight, and now he has the Easterlings surrounded. They are surrounded by the citizens and by these archers. And where are the swordsmen going? The swordsmen are going to charge. At the same time, the swordsmen charge in as the Numenorian Lancers, and they've got them surrounded. Fantastic. They've got these Easterlings surrounded, and there is nowhere to go for them. Camille's Shadow Bows fighting to the last. We've got the Runic Easterling Spearmen fighting to the bitter end. They're surrounded. They're elite. That's why they're not breaking instantly, though they should be wavering. Defeat seems certain. Only military genius could win this battle, and they are wavering. There you have it, guys. The Easterlings are fleeing from the battle, and that might just wrap up this fight in a matter of minutes, it felt like. There we go. So I think it came down to the Cav. I honestly think it came down to the Cav because of how devastating it was, and look how fast they can move. The infantry was a big issue for Cardalin early on in this battle, taking on the Easterlings. And I bet the Easterlings would have won their engagement if Umbar didn't show up with reinforcements, but that's just team battles for you. Dale just stood no chance against Umbar. You can see the aftermath, and I'm seeing so many dead troops from Dale. A really tragic sight there. Oh, Dale still has some life here. They still have some soldiers fighting, putting up the good fight against was the Corsair pikemen. But the Cav is behind the flank, and he's going to go in for the nail in the coffin, as I like to call it. Basically finish this battle once and for all and get the spears out of here. And just like that, they break off the battlefield. And they're going to run through the wrong way. Cardalin sending over some warhammers, which is great. They look very intimidating. And I think we've got... What do we have over here? I guess there's a handful of soldiers from the Easterlings maybe putting up their final stand. I can't really see anything. Oh yeah, we've got some Kumul's Chosen, very elite unit, and that is why they're fighting to the death. But I think it's safe to say that this battle is over. There goes their general, and a great victory for Umbar and Cardalin, and they now own the haunted lands of Barrow-Downs. Very cool. I don't know who they're fighting now. There's still a decent amount of time left. Looks like we got a little, just small pockets of soldiers who are, you know, very stubborn, won't give up the fight, won't surrender. And there's a clear victory for the, you know, Sin of the Dark Cloud and WK. Both of them getting, look at this is crazy. Both of them almost getting the same exact kills, except for one. Now, of course, Sin captured more, but that, you know, whatever. That's really crazy. But losses, WK lost about 200 to 300 more. Clueless there. He got 1,000. He got the most kills. So Rune just really destroying WK's army. But unfortunately, Dale was not able to hold on, who actually got a lot of kills too. They just had smaller armies. That's another thing to consider. Their smaller armies just didn't withstand the quantity of the other forces. And here's the kills here. Who got the most? 157 with the Warlords. Again, is Cav. And also the Numenorean Lancer. The Cav won the day for Umbar. Pikeman getting 114, that's pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's battle. Again, it was short, but it was sweet because this map was really cool. It doesn't really add much to like battle gameplay wise, but the background and the scenery was really awesome, and the lore of it is pretty cool as well. So if you enjoyed the battle, guys, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, and of course subscribe for more epic battles. But that's gonna be it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the battlefield.